Hello and welcome back to England in the World Cup, episode 3. Today we've got at least Argentina in the World Cup second round. We may go to the quarterfinals later on, but Argentina are currently the best team in the world. Despite them coming second in their group stage and we topped our group, we couldn't have had a worse draw really. So we're coming against Argentina today. It's going to be ridiculously tough. So there could only be one game today, but there could be two. We'll have to wait and see. We're putting out a slightly different, but I think a pretty strong squad today. A lot of players are starting to look tired now and things like that, which isn't great. So the team we've got out there is half fit, half not so fit, basically. So Pickford stays in goal. We've got a back line, though, of Craig Long, John Stones, Axel Tuanzebe and Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez coming onto that right-hand side. He's very versatile. He is fantastic. He can play anywhere along that back line very, very comfortably and very, very well. So he's a great asset to have in the side. I'd love to have him at Lincoln. However, Liverpool won't let me have him. And to be fair, he probably won't come to me either, so I don't blame him. We've changed things around in the midfield ever so slightly. Ward comes in, Jack Ward comes in, that little regen guy. He's pretty decent, to be fair. He's as good as Hughes. Hughes moves over to a more central midfield role on the ground that Dyer is looking ridiculously tired and probably won't make it till half-time if we play him today. So he's going to take a rest for today's game, but hopefully we'll be back for the next one if we get there, of course. Slight change in his attacking midfield, that's the biggest one. Gomez stays there on the left-hand side, but Phil Foden comes in for Dele Alli, who's very tired. We're still trying things on the right hand side, but Marcus Rashford is very, very tired. So Steve Thompson comes in on the right hand side, but Harry Kane does come back in up front to become an advanced forward, and fingers crossed we'll bag a hat-trick today against Argentina. Right, kickoff is upon us, and am I worried about today's game? The answer to that is yes, very, very worried about today's game, because Argentina, they're first in the world for a reason. They're obviously a very, very good side as they've nearly only scored 20 seconds into today's game. Now, obviously, they've had a pretty poor group stage of the World Cup, so that sort of plays into our favour. We've had a good one, whereas they've had quite the poor one. So that does sort of play into our hands a little bit. You know, if they're not in form, we're in form. They're going to be a little bit shaky and things like that. But things can change quite easily in Football Manager, and I can just imagine it changing now and Argentina beating us 3 or 4-0 with a hand of God from someone, I'm sure. They've got a chance now, though. The cross comes in, and there's hardly any one of our players in the area. And it's cleared away as far as Nonce, or Knock. I'm going to call him Nonce because he's Argentinian and I don't like him now because he scored against us. But Nonce has scored 1 goal for Argentina, and it's now 1-0 to them. Exactly what I was afraid of, really. You know, they've decided to turn things on in this game. They've got Despacito on their side as well, and we know how good he is, of course, because if you watch Lincoln Loco, you'll know that Despacito is an incredible winger that plays for Lincoln right now. Gomez puts a cross into the area there, it's collected by the goalkeeper. We need to be doing better than this. We've not got a shot in the game yet, which is really, really poor considering how well we've played in the previous games. We've now got a chance, though, as Stones picks the ball up and plays it across to Tuanzebe now, who's trying to get himself in the game. He's not been overly impressive, I think, in these opening games of the competition so far. But I am playing him on the grounds that he's the only one sort of fit enough at the moment to play. Hughes plays it across to Foden, but Despacito makes an interception. Now they're coming forward again, Argentina. Gomez now coming forward, puts it across to the open man, Dybala. Well. My plan was to resign after the World Cup, but at this rate, I might be getting sacked, if we're being honest. As the corner comes in, Gomez puts it into Tuanzebe, who heads it down to Kane, but it's been cleared. Now Dybala has a chance to come forward for Argentina. Dybala still coming down this right-hand side or left-hand side, depends how you look at the pitch, I suppose, into Gomez. He wins it somehow, but Pickford does make the save. I don't know if you've noticed the past few days that my voice hasn't been very good. I don't know why it's not so good. I don't feel ill. It just is ill, my voice. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's early in the morning, then it will change. I don't know. I hope you can put up with it, though, this rambling and croaky voice sounding thing. I do apologise, but it's what we're stuck with right now, I'm afraid, if we want to make videos. We've got a chance now to try and come forward, though. Phil Foden puts the ball through to Gomez. Gomez, again, he's just selfish. He's been so selfish as World Cup. It actually is annoying me now. It's really starting to get to me. I suppose I can say it now, can't I? Because this will have come out way after the first episode of Lincoln Loco Season 10. So it's a good job we bloody got rid of him if he's so bloody selfish. Like, it just annoys me how selfish he can be. He should have squared that and we would have scored. He should have squared it a couple times in the opening games of the group stages, and it didn't square it. Steve Thompson on the ball then. Again, he should have squared it to Harry Kane, or just whoever was in the middle. There were 2 of them in the middle and they didn't do it. We could be level here if we just passed the ball in the area. Oh, wow. Okay then. Well, either we have a huge comeback in the second half now, or it's absolutely game over for us. We've got to change something at half-time, I think, to get ourselves back in this game. Unless Barco nearly scored the 4th for Argentina. Well, this is what I said. They're top of the world for a reason, and we're not. And I hope to God I don't get sacked, because I couldn't take being sacked. I can take being resigning. You know, I can. My plan was to resign as World Cup winner, but now I'm going to be a disgraced World Cup second round exeter, as Tunzabe just can't tap it in the back of a net there somehow. We've had so many chances that we should have scored, we've just not, and it's really starting to annoy me now. We should definitely have at least 2 goals, if not 3 goals, I've got to say, from the chances we've had this game. We've just not made the use of them. We've just been selfish, our players. Angel Gomez, Steve Thompson. Tunzabe couldn't score there, and now we've got a chance again. Phil Foden through the defence. He's pulled one back. Well done, Phil. You've pulled one back through the help of Harry Kane. But we are going to change formation at half-time, because I'm not happy. Aggressive, not of your performance out there. You were awful. Jack Ward didn't even care, so he's probably going to have to come off, I'm afraid. Although he probably won't, because what tactics can we use? Right, we're going to switch to this. And who's going to... Rashford is going to come on, because he's actually scored a couple goals. So he's going to come on as a complete forward on attack or something like that. Foden can stay on the pitch. We're going to have to bring on Eric Dyer for Steve Thompson. And they're going to have to swap round. Can Ward play like that? Not particularly. Can anyone? What does Hughes like to do? He likes to be a playmaker. So I suppose you'll have to swap them around. And Ward will have to be a more central midfielder on support or something like that. It's not really the best sort of situation there, but it's what we're going to have to do. So let's start second half like that. Well, it was a goal kick early in this second half now. And the comeback of comebacks is about to start as Hughes tries to work a little move now. Plays it towards Eric Dyer. Foden on the edge of the area. Through to Harry Kane. I think it's offside. I think it was offside, yeah. Unfortunately, offside. At least we're scoring a goal. You know, that was good. It's offside, it doesn't count. But at least we're getting ourselves back in the game now. Harry Kane coming forward. Okay, that's fine. Get yourself tackled now. Pumpido plays it to Despacito, who's our star man for Lincoln. Plays it into Gomez. I just hope Despacito has a bad game today. Just today, have a bad second half. Like, score 2 or 3 own goals. I'll give you a massive contract. I promise. If you score 3 own goals now, maybe even 4, I'll give you the biggest contract you've ever seen in your life, Despacito. Alright, Tunzabe on the ball then. Plays to Jack Ward. We're trying to build a little move forward now. Phil Foden, who's actually been pretty decent today, plays it towards Harry Kane. Harry Kane through to Rashford, and Rashford puts it wide the post, okay. It was easier to miss than score, I've got to say, that opportunity, but he's somehow missed it as Tunzabe now clears it towards Rashford, who can't win the ball, and now Dybala, the danger man, comes forward, puts it in towards Nonce. That Nonce again, plays it up to Pumpido. Pumpido into 5. Okay, alright. I can already hear the England fans chanting sacks in the morning. The ones that have stayed, that is. You know, everyone else has left. The ones that have stayed, they're chanting sacks in the morning, and to be fair to them, they're probably right. To put it in perspective here, I've done worse at a World Cup than Mike Bassett did with England. And if you don't understand that, then I suggest you watch the film Mike Bassett, England Manager, because it's a good film. He got to a World Cup semi-final or something like that and lost to Liechtenstein 10-0 or something like that. I mean, I suppose I've got to apologise to, like, Margaret Thatcher for this loss today, because she won't be happy with me. As Rashford comes forward now, makes it 2, so it's slightly less embarrassing, but it's still pretty embarrassing nonetheless. That deal still stands, Despacito. If you do score a couple of... Is he on the pitch even? He's gone off the pitch. He heard I was trying to match fix and the manager took him off. So, okay, that's why he didn't score a few own goals. He was substituted off. If only we had Aguero. If Aguero was still playing for Argentina, we could get him to do some match fixing for us. But he's not. He retired at Lincoln. So, no more match fixing for him, as the clock ticks down now in the final 10 seconds and we're out the World Cup. Slightly prematurely, I've got to say. I thought we could have gone on to a quarter-final, be traditional England, maybe even a semi-final, and give the country hope, but it wasn't to be. Knocked out to Argentina in the second round. Alright, place your bets now. Am I going to be sacked, yes or no? Well, I'm not going to lie. It doesn't look like I'm being sacked yet. Do I want to continue the game and give them the satisfaction of sacking me? Should we just try and see what happens? Because that is quite tempting. I don't think they're sacking me. I mean, I'd like to see if Canada beat Mexico. That's such an easy game. Why do we get Argentina and they had bloody Mexico? I still don't understand how Argentina came second in their group with their #1 ranked team in the world. Like, Does not make sense. They lost to, like, Japan, wasn't it? They lost to, like, or was it Nigeria or someone? And Canada have gone through. Bloody hell, Canada. We absolutely thrashed Canada as well, so that's even more annoying. Well, yeah, I've not been sacked yet. So, I'm going to take this opportunity to... Now, we have to do this carefully, because I don't want to resign as Lincoln manager. Right, resign. Oh, where are we at? Resign. England. Should we go end of World Cup? Or no, just go immediately. Let's just resign immediately. That's fine. I don't care anymore. And there we go. Kelsey has quit the national team. Brilliant. Sean Dyche is meant to be the favourite. Brilliant. Well done, Sean. You deserve it. Well, there we go then. That's the end of the England World Cup. Slightly prematurely, and we've gone out in spectacular fashion. Now, this probably looks a bit weird to you, the stream, because if you're watching the Lincoln Loco, you're probably way ahead of this. So I've got some catching up to do now to get to the new season, do a lot more transfers and things like that. At least now I can solely concentrate on Lincoln. So I'll see you in the Lincoln Loco at some point. If you're watching that, please do, because it's good and I like it. So please watch it. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.